All right. I am here with Mr. Matsena. But before we get to the podcast, I just want to say thank you to Workshop 17 for giving us this opportunity to collaborate and use their studios. And if you want to use their studios for your own podcast, please reach out to them. We'll leave all the information in the description below. And reach out to them and make your podcast come to life. With that said, welcome, sir.
Yeah, feels good to be here, man. This is nice. From what we come from, or from what you come from specifically.
Yeah.
This is giving aesthetically, so yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a testament to anyone who wants to have their own podcast that, your guests will actually love it.
Yeah.
And you will definitely have state-of-the-art equipment, state-of-the-art venue for your podcast.
And it's amazing how easily accessible it is, eh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Great. So, please introduce yourself and what you do.
My name is Matsena. Many people in different provinces know different names, but
Okay.
let's stick to Matsena.
All right.
That's my African name.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm an industrial engineer. I've been doing that for over a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think. So, yeah.
Awesome.
That's what I do.
So what made you decide to study industrial engineering?
I didn't even know what this course was about. So my mom was the one who, I think her colleague's daughter studied industrial engineering. So I think she bought about 2 cars in a space of 6 to 12 months. One of it was cash, I think. So that somehow inspired her, and she was like, hey, I need you to go and study industrial engineering.
Sure.
So that's how I came about a course known as industrial engineering, and that's how I was like, okay, I applied at CPUT, and then I got in. So there was not much thought into it. It was just, okay, you want me to do this? Okay, I'll give it a try.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Then you now get admitted at your varsity. How was it like? Did you get any shocks, anything that sort of was out of the ordinary from what you had in mind?
Academically,
yes.
I guess because I failed for the first time in a dismal way,
Okay.
So, in high school, there are control tests that maybe you write from the circuit and whatever. And then even if you get zero on a test set by the school, you probably don't get ahead because you're like, this is not going anywhere, it's just a test.
Yeah.
So I never really failed something major. So I started experiencing that adversity. Like I failed, and it was English, imagine. So I think I got 42%. So that kind of like crushed me. I was like, yo, this is real life.
Yeah.
This is real life, and there's no one to carry me up like, hey, you can do this, you can do that. And at home they want results, so it's you're forced to really man up, or the system swallows you. Yeah.
All right. So what are the key values that you can share with someone since you're a graduate that they can use to also graduate and also grow out of the university into actually graduating?
So for me, it's a little bit of a long story because I did it twice. So from 2013, my first year, till 2014. 2014 was my second year.
Yeah.
But then I dropped out towards the end of the second year.
All right.
And then I went to do live my life and do other stuff. And then I came back again in 2021.
All right.
So obviously when I came back in 2021, I had experience on how to consume. So I knew myself better, basically. So approaching my academics from that point of view was quite easy because I already know how I consume knowledge and what I need to do to be very efficient in consuming knowledge. So it was just a matter of just putting that to work and then not going with the wave. So what I'm saying is some key takeaways would be know yourself. You have to know yourself, stick to your strategy because it doesn't help if I see you cross-nighting and I'm under pressure because you're cross-nighting and I'm not cross-nighting, and I'm like, let me go cross-night.
Yeah.
That might not work for me.
Sure.
You understand? So if you know you consume knowledge in 2 hours and then you're fine, consume knowledge in 2 hours and then sleep.
Go to sleep, yeah.
And then go play, go do whatever, because that's who you are. Unlike if you study for 2 hours and then now you're under pressure because someone is pushing for the 4th hour.
Yeah.
No, you're on the wrong track.
Yeah.
Just stick to what works for you.
Yeah.
But obviously, here and there, you need to refine yourself because obviously things change. From high school, the workload has increased. So you obviously, in as much as you know the high school version of you.
Yeah.
So you now have to refine that person to catch up to the status quo.
100%. All right. So you said you had you studied it twice.
Yes.
And you went first time 2015 and then you came back again. What was the biggest life lesson that you learned from the 2 times, or what is it that mindset that you came in from the first time you came in, and if you were to compare it with the second time when you came in, what are the tricks or maybe life lessons? It's almost the same questions that I asked earlier on, but I just want to just give maybe insight to someone, because from outside, for someone who's listening to this, like, okay, I see perseverance.
Yes.
But for you, I just want you to tell your own story in terms of what is it that you learned the most out of dropping out and coming back and finishing what you started?
So obviously from 2013, so now you are very naive, fresh from high school. You're ready to conquer the world. You don't know anything about the real world, basically. You come from a sheltered place.
Yeah.
So you were a baby all this time, right?
Yeah.
So now the baby is in the bathwater alone now. So you have to kind of like, you get a very harsh reality check. And obviously there are those who manage to remain sheltered, whether through extended family or whatever, in the same province.
Sure.
And then they can run through that course and finish it in record time. But then now when they break into employment, now the sheltering stops and you see them breaking down heavily in the workplace. They
100%.
they can't even survive, right? So from that point of naivety, from 2013, super naive, and then now there's a gap obviously between 2014 till 2021 when I get back. So the get back basically is me now. I'm no longer naive, because in between I was dealing with life and its harshness, and I faced it, didn't quit, and it's real harshness, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's how you really start seeing and taking the world for what it is, because you have to survive. When is it Charles Darwin? I'm not sure who said survival of the fittest when they're talking about high school stuff. When you're talking about survival of the fittest, that's not a joke. That's planet Earth, survival of the fittest. So even the academic system is like that. It's either you really see it for what it is, play the game, and then finish the game. Because even when you play games, we learn the rules of this game, right? So you like, okay, for me to succeed and get to stage 2, these are the opponents I need to kill. This is the stage. So in 2013, I didn't have any of that knowledge.
A game plan, yeah.
I didn't have any of that. For me, this is just school. It's just a continuation or an extension of high school. I just need to go through the same. But like now you have a monthly allowance. You have to mentally manage that money.
Yeah.
You are your own parent. You are a baby. You are a parent. You are an uncle. You are everything, and you have to perform. You have to deliver.
100%, yeah.
So, but you kind of don't have that mindset fresh from high school. So now I got that from after I came back for round 2 now, because I had gone through all of that. So sometimes when life clashes with you, you just have to let it in, because there's a character that causes the clash with life, if I may put it that way.
Sure.
That you have to get a certain level of understanding for you to see life the way life sees life, if I may put it that way.
Yeah.
Right, and then you align your character, you align your thoughts for the next thing. So for me, I feel like the get back, I had gone through all that, and then when I came here, I knew like it was gonna be not necessarily smooth sailing, but a guaranteed win. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, that's so cool, man. I know we can actually go into more details on that, However, I just want us to focus.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like there is an interesting story in your journey, having to start, drop out, come back again, and like you said, this time around you're more matured. Life has worked out a character in you, and when you come back, I think you come back more focused. You come back knowing what you actually want, and
100%.
I'm sure that was a smooth sail for you.
Yeah. In a way.
Yeah. All right. So you graduate and you start working.
Yeah.
Please just go into the details of what you were doing first year. How did that differ from what you studied and what you were actually doing?
So, in a way, the content that we get in varsity, right? A lot of times after we get out of varsity and then we get into the workplace, a lot of people generally say, what you do in the workplace is super far from what you learned in the textbook. And I've always had a problem with that statement, right?
Okay.
Because I'm like, these textbooks that we're reading were actually, these are case studies from the workplace. So I think it's failure to really see the purpose of these institutions, to say the purpose is to indoctrinate you into thinking like an engineer.
Okay.
You are not supposed to go to the workplace and find that case study that you read in the book. It's to get your mindset to think like an engineer, so that when you get to the workplace, you approach problems like an engineer. You have been trained on your way of thinking.
100%,
right?
yeah.
So I had that understanding when I went from varsity into the workplace. So I knew I wasn't expecting examples that I did in the textbook. I wasn't expecting them in the workplace. I knew that now this is a completely different animal. I have to approach this differently. I have the thinking now. I have the tools now to solve these problems, right? So when I went into the workplace, I just started from the in-service training. So I did this in-service in this company. So at the end, the same company absorbed me.
Okay.
So obviously when I got there, I kind of as I said earlier on about I understood myself and what I want and how to get what I want. So kind of analyze the whole structure to see, this is, like I said, these are systems, right? So every system will offer you good and bad. There are one system, there are those who get the best from the system. There are those who get the absolute worst from the same system.
I see.
So now I look at this structure. How does it operate? What propels it? How can I get the best out of it? How can I get the worst out of it? And what do I want from there? And then I look at that, I'm like, okay, for me to kind of because at that time I needed a job. It's not like I had the luxury of not having a job.
Sure.
No, so I really, really had to be creative, right? So, okay, I saw what was happening, and then I chose where I felt like if I can grab this, I am in. If I grab this, master it, I am definitely in. And then it actually worked out that way. And then they absorbed me, started working as an industrial engineer. So I was, even now, still focused on machines. So machine optimization, you get your utilization reports, because you want to measure everything that happens in the factory. You want to be able to know all those nitty-gritties. So that's basically that's from varsity transitioning into the workplace. Those are really just, it's a mindset shift, most importantly, basically. Because even if you realize from the workplace, it's like the workplace mimics varsity, your projects, your assignments, so at the workplace you obviously don't have a test, but you're dealing with a test of character. You're dealing with your job. You have to constantly prove that I need to remain at this job or go high or whatever the case may be. So you're constantly tested. You constantly have to work on projects. So you have you can't miss deadlines. So whatever that they were training you for at varsity, this system of varsity in a way was inspired by the workplace, because varsity is created specifically for the workplace.
100%.
So yeah.
I just want you to now maybe go into details, like what kind of a manufacturing company, if you can go into the details, what were what was your role at the company, learning, like what was the first thing that you were getting? Is there anything that you can share with a graduate or someone who is a learner who says, hey, I want to be an industrial engineer, but they don't know exactly what they're going to be doing? So for your first job, what were you doing exactly?
So I'm still on my first job.
Okay.
So obviously what I do is, like, I look after the machine. So in a way, when I got there, my former boss, that's the guy basically who taught me a lot. So he says, you're gonna deal with machines, so you're gonna take care of the machines. So now that's literally what he said to me. That's a very broad statement.
Okay.
I'm gonna take care of the machines. I don't even understand what this is about. So it kind of like took me the entire year to figure out what this job is about. But in me figuring out, this is me creating meaning, and this is me defining the job, because the company never had. My boss was the first industrial engineer, and then basically me and my colleague are the second and third industrial engineer.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So I kind of like, in a way, defining what this job means for this particular company, what based on its on the production needs, right? So when I got there, if a machine is down, which is something that we can't really afford, they would call for whatever reason, right? For whatever reason. And now, even if you say, okay, there's a maintenance team in the factory that maybe will deal with a few things there on the machine breakages, but from an engineering point of view, you're kind of the one who has a superior knowledge and say so as to giving direction as to, okay, what is the next step, or what should be done, and how can we do that, right? And now, mind you, I'm inexperienced at this point, but lucky enough, because I grew up in church basically, so I was part of the technical team from high school, primary, high school, varsity. So making sure that the instruments are connected, everything is ready for the service, right? So now that gave me a lot of training on understanding systems or equipment, rather, let me use that word. And also, when I was growing up, I had a lot of I was the kind of kid who would break a toy just to see what's inside. Like, I wanna understand basically.
You want to see the motors and the gears inside.
100%. And also crack open the motor as well to see why is this thing the way it is.
So you go into the windings now.
100%.
All right.
So I'm one person who likes a challenge. So when you say here's a job, we want to take care of the machines, automatically my mind jumped to mechanical engineering. I'm like, geez, this is, if I was a mechanical engineer, maybe I would be happy to have this job. But I'm an industrial engineer. I'm not really supposed to be going this deep. But at the same time, as an engineer, I don't care what kind of engineer you are, it's kind of your duty. You have an inherent duty to figure it out.
Yeah.
You have to figure it out. So I kind of like live by that. Say you have to figure it out. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. So they wanna design. Maybe I work at a couch making company. They wanna design a couch. They're like, okay, the prototype will prototype it there. Like, now we wanna cut it this way. Then they will bring all of that to me. It's okay. This is what we wanna do. Are we able to cut this? And if we're not able, what would we need to do to be able to cut this? So basically, as an engineer, you can't just say this is impossible to do. Okay, tell us what we need to do to make it possible, right? So those are the kind of interactions that are there in my job. Also, if there's one of the CNC machines, the way it cuts, for me, it's very fun because I feel like it wastes a lot of time traveling in the air instead of doing the actual cutting. So those kind of things where you call the manufacturer, like the way there's a lot of travel time here, I want to reduce that to actual cutting time. And then you have those kind of interactions, and they see how, if they can optimize it further than it already is, or whatever the case may be. But that's what I do.
Okay, that's cool. So Okay, I'm just trying to see how I can ask this question. So that's what you're doing. You take care of machines. You making sure that they're working properly,
Yeah.
right? Um, what is it, if you were to give maybe insight to a student or maybe a graduate? What makes a good industrial engineer in the experience that you have had at the moment?
What makes a good industrial engineer is what makes any good of any type of my English is running away. What makes any engineer good in anything, whether it's actually any profession rather. What makes you good in that profession is, but specifically industrial engineering, you need to pay attention to detail.
Okay.
Like, you need to pay attention to detail and always be expecting to deal with problems.
Okay.
And apart from you paying extra attention to detail, you need to be detail oriented. You refuse to operate with surface level knowledge. Like, if there's a problem and you fix the problem, you have to really want to go deeper into what caused the problem.
Root cause, yeah.
You cannot just be happy that the problem is fixed. No, you have to really, it's like, right now, as you're setting up here in the studio, I was thinking, I'm like, so I couldn't just shut my mind down from thinking in terms
Sure.
of engineering. So
Sure.
I'm like, one of the things that would be cool is to have, to mark everything, where you know that the moment you come into the studio, as long as this is next to that line, as long as that is next to that line, you don't even have to do the setup. So I was thinking in terms of those lines, right? So that's
Optimizing processes.
Yes, that's you need to have that mind to say, how do I simplify? How do I make people's lives easy? That's how my boss gave it to me, to say an industrial engineer is an everything man. If you can put yourself in a position where you really desire to solve people's problems, I think that's if you desire to really solve people's problems, right, from an industrial engineer point of view, if you have that desire to work out that problem, that for me that's already 80% of the job is done.
Awesome. Wow, that's actually very cool to hear. And like you said, the same qualities that you shared, you can use them in other what do you call this? In other professions, which is attention to detail, and also making things easier.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot for that. I think this is our retry of our podcast. For those who are watching, the first one was sabotaged a bit, but we just had a second one. But thanks a lot for coming through, man. Appreciate
thanks,
it.
Man. Thanks for your viewers.
Yeah.
Comment and share. I think it's quite important to have a debate when it comes to everything. Like, I guess that's also the beauty of social media, where people hate Twitter because there's a lot of negative comments.
Unfiltered,
there. But negative comments exist, right? Like, they literally exist. So my point is, engage. Like, as human beings, like, we need to engage and argue and debate, and that's how we get better. So thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for listening to the podcast. Sdeke Podcast is a podcast that brings professionals together, and they share their journey to help those who are interested in the same cause. And once again, I just want to say thank you to Workshop 17 for giving us this opportunity to use their studios. And if you want to book your studios with them at Kloof Street in Studio 17, just reach out. We'll leave the information in the description below, and make your podcast come to life. Well, with that said, thank you so much for coming through. Say, have a good evening.
Sharp, bro.
Cheers.